It's your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. I saw that DAX dropped a Renegade remix, and I knew that I had to dive into this. Over the years, hanging out with friends, making music, freestyling to random beats, this beat would come up a lot. So I'm extremely interested to see what he decided to do with it. Quick plug before we dive in. I'm probably live on Twitch as you watch this or shortly after you watch it playing some Valorant. I just started the other day. I'm actually pretty good because it kind of has the feel of Counter-Strike just with abilities and stuff. So I like it. I'm probably going to play it quite a bit. Stop in. You guys are welcome to join the game, hang out, whatever the case is. Also, for those of you guys that don't know, my main channel, Dwayne TV, where I used to do music reactions, I do commentary now. And it's not always music related, but it is a lot as well. So like we just did a talk about Rick Ross getting jumped in Canada. We talked about Eminem and the Megan Thee Stallion drama. We talked about Dr. Disrespect. So a lot of shit gets talked about over there. Feel free to grab the link down below. Hop in, join the conversation. We're going to continue to talk about stuff as often as stuff pops up. But for now, we got some DAX. Let's dive in, see what this is all about. It says I'm quitting rap. Hopefully that's not the case. A lot of the stuff he's dropped recently has been really, really dope. So I think he should continue.
Yeah, game of life, I'm a king in every domain. Pawn me off to the matrix, I bet you I still reign. Storming through every beat, how I thunder and bring the pain. You would think a tornado hit, how I mix it up when I sang. Radiation from these Hollywood stars is causing a cancer. Keeping up with the Joneses and chains of paying your massa.
I like how he said radiate. Hold up. Ooh, that was actually a dope little concept. Let me go back real quick. The storm, rain, like all that shit is fire too, but this radiation thing is something I want to talk about.
Yeah, game of life, I'm a king in every domain. Pawn me off to the matrix, I bet you I still reign. Storming through every beat, how I thunder and bring the pain. You would think a tornado hit, how I mix it up when I sang. Radiation from these Hollywood stars is causing a cancer.
I like that. Radiation from these Hollywood stars is causing a cancer. That's a really creative way of putting it that I don't think I've ever heard somebody say before. Because a lot of these people in Hollywood and stuff, they do some things that just don't make sense, but people will follow them. And it's funny because I was just watching KSI's interview with Theo Vaughn, and they were talking about how the Kardashians probably changed the course of history. And what they mean by that is them doing some of the things that they've done has led people to do the same shit, like the lip fillers and different stuff like that. Like they helped popularize this shit, and now you see all sorts of girls going out to do the same thing because they feel like they have to do it. No different than social media has kind of changed it because you have these people on there with these insane bodies because they've gotten body modifications to the point where other women feel like they need to do it. So it's wild when you really think about it, but to put it as like it's radiation causing cancer among the masses is such a real statement.
Tornado hit, how I mix it up when I sang. Radiation from these Hollywood stars is causing a cancer. Keeping up with the Joneses and chains of paying your massa. Rap is a plantation, make you slave and demand you. Help them pick up the crop that they use to cook propaganda. Microdose through the media, poison, mislead the youth. Make them believe this, thought they realities bend the truth. Watered down education, take the God out of schools. Have you worshiping idols to push political views. I'm a renegade, for what I say, not what I wear. The car I drive and the money you think I got to spare. I'm called to duty, I'm modern with all my warfare. But I don't get paid by the devil, so when my millions there, there's no gravity, weakness, or any atrophy. I invest in myself, my stocks rise, and it actually bonds people together. I mutually fund humanity. Bank on DAX, it's tax-free to gas me. This new election got me.
Yo, this is dope. Listen, DAX been cooking lately. I feel like he was good years ago when there was all the drama. We did the DAX this, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we moved past that obviously, but I feel like now compared to then, it's a whole different ball game. Like I just don't feel like he had as much substance back then. He sounded good, but now he's added the substance to it, and he's on a whole nother level.
But I don't get paid by the devil, so when my millions there, there's no gravity, weakness, or any atrophy. I invest in myself, my stocks rise, and it actually bonds people together. I mutually fund humanity.
And the way that he's playing with it, the whole rain, storm, thunder, like the way he played with that throughout, and that the bonds, invest in myself, like kind of, it's like an entire investment scheme. It's really dope.
Bank on DAX, it's tax-free to gas me. This new election got me pondering things inside my mind. I'm taking President Trump in the game while biding my time. They all want World War III, and I see all the signs, so I'm mass shooting these bars. My columns bind, take your brain and free it, put it to another place. Has your speech free if you can't speak, if they disagree. I see OnlyFans models grossing hundreds of Ks, but you get canceled for agreeing with Tristan and Andrew Tate. Atomic, a bomb like Oppenheimer.
Hold up.
Speech free if you can't speak, if they disagree. I see OnlyFans models grossing hundreds of Ks, but you get canceled for agreeing with Tristan and Andrew Tate.
That's an interesting take. So is that his way of saying that he rocks with the Tates? And I'm not here to say that that's wrong. Like, I do feel like they say some goofy shit. Don't get me wrong. They've said some wild shit. And then recently they've gone crazy on Twitter saying the N word and all sorts of madness. But in reality, there are some things they say that does make sense. And a lot of times when they downplay some of these OnlyFans girls and different shit, like they're not wrong. But it's one of those things, right? Where like everybody, even people that kind of say some horrible shit, also can say some right shit. So it just depends on what it is that you're following from them, right? But because of social media seems to have completely branded them a certain way, if you agree with anything or say, yo, I agree with that, what they just said, you're immediately looked at as like this horrible person and they want to cancel you. But in reality, the one thing you're agreeing with might be some common sense that everyone should agree with, right? But it's coming from somebody that has made so many people upset and crossed so many boundaries and shit like that, that people feel a type of way about it. It's just really odd where it's like nowadays you can't agree with certain things. Like if someone has done some shit where most people think that they're bad, you have to just, that's it, they're written off. No matter what they say, even if it makes sense, you got to just be like, F them. Just the way that it goes. We're in a, I don't know, we're in a weird era right now. They're not necessarily people I follow, but again, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that there aren't certain things they've said that I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But that's because I look at things a little bit differently. I don't look at things like, I'm not saying to separate shit from the people, right, necessarily, because I don't know that I agree with that completely. Like, I know people, let's just say R. Kelly. People are like, yo, separate the music from the man. It's like, yeah, well, the music is talking about a lot of shit the man did. You know what I mean? Like, if you really listen to it, he's talking about all the shit that he did that was illegal and messed up. And so that's a little bit different. But in this situation, it's like, I don't disagree that, you know, some women are devaluing themselves and doing certain things with this OnlyFans. But at the same time, I would agree that it's their choice to do. And I'm not going to sit here and judge them. But I'm also not going to sit here and try to date them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to take them seriously as far as relationships go and stuff like that. If I'm friends with them, cool. Hey, have at it. We're just friends. You do what you want to do. But as far as like being in a relationship, I would not be in a relationship with somebody that's doing stuff like that. As far as like getting naked or getting their shit pounded out on camera, just not for me. It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Unless, I mean, maybe, you know, we decided to do it together and I'm the one that's, you know, giving it to her in the videos. But that's a whole nother story for another video.
OnlyFans models grossing hundreds of Ks, but you get canceled for agreeing with Tristan and Andrew Tate. Atomic, a bomb like Oppenheimer. A stake in the game is a harsh reminder. The beef I cook is the rarest kind. They label me major, but always minor in the flow tactics and promotional styles I used to engage the masses. Running the game, but when I spaz, they blame it on lactic acid. Cause they know I'm automatic. I don't miss, they move the basket. They say I'm out of my mind, but I'm the one who's conscious rapping. Living way below my means, avoiding baby mama advances. Thinking for myself and not getting tricked into political stances.
I like how we said avoiding baby. Listen, that's what you got to do. I feel like the amount of people nowadays, both women and men, I mean, obviously, because it takes both to make the baby, but it's just like, as I get older, I feel like everybody has babies, everybody. And it's one thing if you're in a family, but the amount of people I see that have babies that don't have anybody, like, right, like they had a baby and they broke up. And I like, it is what it is. I'm not putting it on the women. I'm not putting it on the men because it depends on the situation. Some relationships, it's the man's fault. It's the woman's fault. Sometimes it's mutual, but it's like, people are just rushing to have kids and doing all this crazy shit without knowing that the person they're having it with is the person that they should be having it with. Does that make sense? Like, I just feel like we're in an era of like, just everybody just, and this era started a while ago too. This isn't a 2020 thing. This is a thing that started back in probably like 2010, 2000s. It just seems like everybody is just having babies left and right with people that you don't even know 100% of the right people to have the baby with. And then you end up with, it's just a lot of nonsense going on. And I feel proud of myself that I've avoided that my entire life. I also don't want kids, so I'm happy that I don't have any, but I've avoided it because it's like, I've been with people for long periods of time in relationships, but I never was like, yo, this is the person I should have a kid with. And until that feeling were to hit, I'm not going to do that. And I don't think I ever will, but you know, like, I just feel like people got to play life a little bit smarter.
Semantics, trigger words, gaslighting, or semantics. If America's printing money, then why the hell am I paying taxes? Global warming's real, detrimental, and problematic, but
By the way, no offense to anybody out there that has a kid that is not with the person they had the kid with. I'm not taking shots at you because sometimes you may feel as if that is the right person. And then you find out they're a liar and they've been lying this whole entire time, right? Like, there's a lot of things that go into it. So just don't take it as a blanket statement where I'm throwing shots at everybody. But you know that there's ignorant people out there that are doing really dumb shit. And if you feel like you don't fit in that, then you probably don't. And I'm not talking about you. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, obviously, there's going to be single parents. That's inevitably going to happen. because all sorts of shit happens in life. But there are some people that blindly do it when all the red flags are there, and you got to own that one. And if you know you fit in that, you got to own that one.
I'm not buying an electric car because all they'll do is control and crash it like the stock market. First destroy the nuclear family, the women are easier targets. Call it toxic masculinity until they needed to fight the wars they started. Incentivize single motherhood, then promote it through the music department. And call DAX trash and thought-provoking music, literal garbage. No wonder the youth are so lethargic, soft, easily influenced, lack stability, self-awareness, and guzzling Ritalin.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not the biggest fan of the flow and the pocket that he's rapping in over this part right here, but I agree with what he's saying though.
Mental and problematic, but I'm not buying an electric car because all they'll do is control and crash it like the stock market. First destroy the nuclear family, the women are easier targets. Call it toxic masculinity until they needed to fight the wars.
Woo! Yo, my man's cooking on this one.
They started incentivize single motherhood, then promote it through the music department. And call DAX trash and thought-provoking music, literal garbage. No wonder the youth are so lethargic, soft, easily influenced, lack stability, self-awareness, and guzzling Ritalin. ADHD is overdiagnosed. Kids don't lack focus. They've had an iPad since 2, and that algorithm's potent, but I'm
Woo! I agree with that. I agree with that. I feel like, yo, the amount of people I see on Twitter and different social medias that are like, yo, I got ADHD. I got ADHD. It's being way overdiagnosed. But a lot of it is just self-diagnosis. People are just saying that that's what they have, right? But and not even getting properly diagnosed by a doctor. But even then, you do got to be careful because doctors make money off of prescribing medications. So it's like, you know, and I would agree with him that a lot of it comes down to kids these days have a tablet in front of them. They have all this input and stuff like that. And so the attention span is just dropping. And it's almost like, you know what? Maybe we can say they do have ADHD. But maybe we're creating it, right? Like, it's different. When I was younger, like, I'm one of those people where I grew up without, but it wasn't too late into my teens where a lot of this shit started to pop up, right? And so it's like I've kind of lived with both to an extent. So I have a good understanding of this side of it and a good understanding of before. And we used to just go out and I remember we'd sit and hang out on my friend's porch for like 5-6 hours straight, annoy his mom, just do dumb shit and stuff, just try to find things to do, go play some pickup baseball, basketball, football, whatever it was, maybe play a couple of video games. But we didn't have all this extra input and swiping and all this shit. And like he said, the algorithm's potent. Like, it knows how to get you in there. And it's crazy. It's all just manipulation of the way our brains work.
Off that, switching gears, V12 with the bar stick, then I move shift, then I'm in it clear, and that bay like the Buccaneers, tempo with the flow, I'll put it in cruise, cause my control's approaching speeds of top 5 and potentially the GOAT. But no, for real, I just turned 30 years old, I've been beat down, stepped on, cheated on, and broke. I was invisible as Daniel, then became Dax and awoke into a lifestyle where I wish I had an invisibility cloak. Ain't that funny? Women like you more when you have money. I go stupid but ain't no dummy, and I know if the cash flow stops, some of you wouldn't love me, and that's why I value respect, cause you can love me and hurt me, but if you respect and fear losing me, you'll always second guess. Come correct, return text in like 30 minutes or less, and make sure when you're around me, you always have good breath. Not manipulate me with sex, then divorce me cause you're not happy, and take half of my wealth and say you need to go find yourself. What the Well, actually I don't cuss cause I'm a Christian. Jesus died on the cross for my sins and I'm forgiven. These verses take you to church and help you with mental illness. That's why I don't call it music, I call this here a religion. That's why I'm quitting rap, the religion's being abused. Rap used to tell a story and now it's all for the views. I look around at the world, turn on the TV and news, and it feels like I'm on the Truman Show. So what do? I go to the gym and carry the heaviest weight I can find, building up my strength, then sharpening my mind with books like the Bible. I could run for miles, but I tore a hole in my sneakers, trying to lead the blind, trying to lift the weight that's pulling down mankind, trying to spark a change in this darkness. Now I feel heartless. I gave you 10 years, you ignored me, that made me this monster who vomits the truth.
Ooh, I like how he came in with that flow. Yo, my man, okay. Him using this flow from the original song, that's actually dope. He's also done a lot better in this portion. Just that one little tiny sequence of space where he was talking about the nuclear family and stuff. I just didn't like the pocket he was rapping in. But again, the topic, totally on board with.
Weight that's pulling down mankind, trying to spark a change in this darkness. Now I feel heartless. I gave you 10 years, you ignored me, that made me this monster who vomits the truth regardless of what the mainstream wants. I pop culture with each and every song. The devil's dancing, I will not follow along. I rebuke him with every lyrical concept as a response. From Matthew to Mark to Luke to Genesis back to John. I say King James, these kids think I'm talking about LeBron. I could leave land and travel to every country abroad and disperse heat. May God have mercy on those trying to hurt me. And if I'm not worthy of bearing this cross, I pray I fall off and get a regular job. Back when nobody called, back when happiness wasn't fleeting, even though I was barely eating and couldn't even afford to be in my feelings of politic with you heathens. Have anxiety, thoughts of depression, or barely breathing. Mama told me this life is a test, most people cheating, looking at others' papers, copying and agreeing, using makeup to cover up scars and adhesions, masking pain with addictions, using it to fight demons, watching porn and allowing these women to be a weakness, of getting naked for money and sucking guzzling semen. And in the midst of a preaching, I hit my knees in agreement, understood the assignment, expectations and reasons. Hollywood's Babylon and the hill right underneath, it's the reason they feel the need to proceed and reject Jesus regardless if you believe it. Money, power, and fame corrupts morality standards, mutes and muddies the brain. I've seen it for myself, held and pushed it away, spoke the ugly truth, turned to a renegade.
Woo! He cooked on that one. This man cooked on that one. So he's got another video called I'm Quitting Rap. I might have to check that out at some point. It's 20 minutes. When I get some time, I'll watch it. Maybe when I'm doing a workout or some shit like that, because I've been trying to get myself back in shape because I've been slacking. And we're actually doing pretty damn well. Anyways, this was dope. I liked it. I liked the topics that he talked on. This is the kind of shit and why I feel like he needs to continue to make music. Now, again, I don't know if that's true, that I'm quitting rap, or if that's just a clicky title and then he goes into some different things and feelings and stuff like that he has. But this is the kind of shit that I like to hear from him. This kind of stuff, the reflective stuff, the personal shit. I feel like he's been on a tear lately. And all the respect in the world to him for that. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Just another, quick plug. I'll be on Twitch, twitch.tv/DwayneTV, playing some Valorant. I jump between games. I'm probably like a variety streamer. Friday and Saturday, we do music reaction streams. And then obviously my Dwayne TV channel, like I said, I do more commentary. So if you guys ever want to just have a conversation with me, basically, I get that I'm going to put the video out, you guys comment, but I do read the comments as often as I can. I try to respond to you guys to get your guys' opinion and side of whatever topic it is we're talking about. But you can also fill me in, hit me up, DM me on Twitter, Instagram, stop in the Discord, let me, yo, this happened or that happened, or you might want to talk about this. And, there's no guarantee that I'll do it, but there is a chance that I will try to dive into it. And I said, we talk about all sorts of shit. The music drama that happens 100%, but we also talk about stuff amongst YouTubers, streamers, real life events, just different shit like that. So come chat. Appreciate you. Take it easy. Stay safe. I'll catch you in the next one, homies.